How's it going, people? Thanks again for joining in to one of our videos. Don't know if you remember, a few months back, we put out a video about Ava Cowan, mentioning that it's time, for you to come out clean, talk about what happened with you leaving United News Network. And also, it wasn't just for Ava, it was for anyone really that's been involved with Kim, or even Thomas Williams. So we asked in the video for those to come forward. Now, quite recently, someone shared with us from one of the care, one of the old care Telegram groups, which is Kim's assurance, trying to, they say it's free, but one of those groups in Telegram, and someone had took one of Ava Cowan's, found one of Ava Cowan's letters in response to Kim, and he probably maybe it could have been to respond to our video that we put out about Ava Cowan, and someone put it into an audio file with AI, and it was pretty bad, to be honest, but we had a little play around with it, and we've had to reassign a new voice to it, and we've put some subtitles to it. So we'll play that, and also once Ava, now this, I said this could be a couple of months old, this, we don't really know. All I know is that she's come out as Ava now and spoke out about Kim, and also mentions Tank. So you believe what you want to believe, but we have spoken to people. Remember, there are not just Ava's come out and spoken out about Kim. We have people who don't want really Kim to know that they've come out, but off record they've told us things. So we've shared with them what Ava Cowan had said, and they said, yeah, that is definitely Ava Cowan. So I believe whatever you want, but we wouldn't put it out unless we knew for certain it was from Ava Cowan. Now we're hoping that Ava Cowan will respond back. Of course, we didn't expect Ava to come to Team Bubba and spill the beans. We just wanted Ava to put something out there, to come clean. She's, from what I can see now, she's got it off her back now. She's got what she needed to do off her back, and spoke the truth from her perspective. You can think what you want, but of course Kim also put a little something out afterwards when she knew that Ava had put a letter out, and then Ava responds back. So we'll do that in a minute. But yeah, we've had people come forward, and some of them are really high ranking in Kim's Kim's camp and Thomas Williams's. So we're getting reassurance on some of the information we're putting out, and also pointers where to look, but they're too afraid to come out themselves and talk, and we totally understand that. I mean, even Ava said she was scared to come out sooner. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to play this video. Well, we've made a video of it with some subtitles, so you can read and listen, and then we'll come back to this in a bit. So have a listen, and we'll come back to it.
To the people who have inquired about my departure from United News Channel, I want to speak a bit about what happened, because I truly know it is time to shed some light to the people who are here to make a difference on the planet. This account is in reference to why I left. I know many are trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together, and perhaps there is something in my experience that may assist you. There are a few people, light beings, who have tried to reach out to me because on some level, they feel something is off. I know that if there wasn't a doubt, there would not be a question. They wouldn't have written me at all. Many didn't. I never heard from them again because the focus is money, or they were told disparaging comments about me from that group, or they don't care to know what happened. Either way, I know it is time that I told my story. It is very unfortunate that good people who have given days, months, years, and money because of the belief and hoping they would help the planet with so much heaviness and challenges on the planet. I think we were all hoping that Kim was who she said she was and maybe humanity would get funding. I must be honest, I was really confused by who I thought Source had picked to help humanity. It was truly very confusing to me. A phrase I used to say even to Kim was, I don't care if you are the trustee of the global assets. You must do the inner shadow work. Her anger and outrageous behavior that was not remotely loving was more than a person who didn't do shadow work. My inner knowing was confirmed by Source directly after I made the free will choice to walk away from the group after a shocking Zoom meeting, a February 9, 2021 recorded Zoom meeting. I got my first real telepathic message from God Source, and I heard two crystal clear sentences. One of them will be revealed later. The second sentence was specifically that she set out to destroy you. I knew it because I used to speak with her on the phone often, and that diminished over time in the way the group treated me. A few key people were often short with me, and even rude when I had been nothing but polite. I didn't put it together that Kim badmouthed me to others. One thing to consider is that I don't think a person who is here for humanity would set out to destroy anyone, let alone me. I was supposed to be her friend here on the mission, willing to do my inner work and firmly on my path here to assist in any way I could. It took a literal act of Source to show me what she intentionally did to myself and my elderly family. The reason I never came out earlier was because Kim is lethal as she speaks about publicly, and she led some light warriors on a wrong path, one of which could destroy them on a soul level because they took the lives of innocent people. She stated this on a life force call in her coded CIA manner of speaking. She said she took out evil people, except she enlisted God's warriors, and by her instruction, they took the lives of innocents. I was too in shock by everything, and I knew she could try and come after me. And so until I knew to share this, I didn't. The point of this letter is clarity. I would never intentionally hurt anyone. Unfortunately, this truth may hurt. I didn't take this to the internet, do a blog, or make a video about it. I had hoped the truth would eventually come out in other ways. However, I think my story and prayer may be what a few people need, so they may make up their own minds. I don't feel angry, nor am I trying to slander. I am simply telling my story. This message will vibrate with the frequency of truth, and that is what is important. I was recently asked if I thought Kim was the Red Queen, and yes, I believe she is. According to the Viking, she absolutely is. After my departure, the Red Queen went on a full attack of my home, and these beings were all over my house, clawing and crawling all over it. There is a woman whose Source sent here to assist me on this mission. Otherwise, I wouldn't be alive today. Kim calls her my handler. I can assure you she is not. These beings were attacking her home in Las Vegas at the same time as mine, and we called in a few people to assist with the attack, the Viking being one of them, my friend sent from Source. Her name is Jessica. Jessica came back into the picture, but was initially sent in 7 years ago. She came back in to let me know there was a detrimental timeline playing out in my home, and this led me to discover who Kim really is. My home was filled with hundreds of demons. They were everywhere and even had possessed my father. For 4 years, I have lived with this. I started filming with the UNC production crew, and they are the ones who first witnessed this in my home, except they didn't know Kim was who put them here and never cleared them from my home. Jessica has a clear and distinct communication with 13 angelic guides and Source. She hears them as clearly. They said Kim knew about these beings and put them here, allowing my vulnerable father to get a possession. I lived in hell. Literally, he would come after me. Physically, he was filled with rage, and I was afraid of him, as well as the ancient being who took him over. This was all while I was trying to film in the way life was here. As a result, was hurtful and damaging. Two people I worked with from the UNC production crew saw these shadowy figures all around me while I was filming, and they mentioned it, and yet I had no idea. Once Jessica told me about these beings and that we were on a timeline where the possession was going to come out and fight my dad because it was coming after me. My dad was going to take his own life to protect mine because the demon wasn't going without taking one of us with it. I was distraught, and I went to Kim after a sleepless night of knowing this. I told her what Jess saw, and she casually said, "Oh, do you want me to get rid of them?" Stunned, I said, yes. In 2 minutes, she cleared out my house, describing exactly what Jess described to me, and then removed the possession from my dad. The next morning, she went to brag about her accomplishment on our morning production call. Feeling proud, she asked me what Jess said, and I said, "Well," she said, "what took you so long?" In that moment, the facade was gone completely. She knew that I knew. She enjoyed that they were here and the harm they caused me the entire 4 years that I have cared for my parents. She then unleashed on me like an absolute lunatic in front of everyone. That was by design and was supposed to be a revelation because I was met with her pure venom. Interestingly, she had recently gone through my bank statements. I want to be clear, in case she or any of them attempt to discredit me, that anything that I received in terms of a donation from kind-hearted people who watch the news, every cent was reported in my 2020 taxes. I was not in the core group, so the generous and few financial gifts that I did receive helped me get clothing, some makeup and food so that I could be on camera. A month or so earlier, I had gotten a couple of online training clients. I was so thrilled so that I could get a facial and a few cosmetic things done to look presentable for the news channel, and I used the money I made. There was not enough in donations to ever spend it on anything beauty related. She unleashed on me, telling everyone about my personal information and called me vain, etc. Her goal was to discredit me and to humiliate me in front of everyone. To be clear, I live with and care for my parents with Alzheimer's and dementia full time, so there is nothing to report about me. But it was obvious she sure tried. The point of the whole scenario to even be allowed to play out was to offer the people on the phone a choice. And now you're reading this one as well. This occurred so that it would be revealed who she really is on a soul level, and in her case, a soulless level. No one budged or said anything because they think they are getting funded. My guidance told me, after all of this, and once I blocked her and removed consent of her contacting me, that she is an artificial intelligence hybrid experiment trained by the IA. I thought, based on what I heard, they would have been arrested by now for taking funds and donations, funneling and distributing it to Kim as well. There was a huge blowout when Kim discovered Tank's spending habits, because she went through Tank's accounts and told me about it and what he specifically spent the donation money on that meant for building the news channel. I heard about his living expenses, nightly food, takeout, and NY clothes, etc., to the tune of $100,000 in less than a year. This was before anything was ever given from signups, and I didn't receive anything for subscriptions. Thankfully, I haven't spoken to any of that group since the 9 February 2021. An interesting side note is that my desktop was filled with UNC News recordings. Source deleted those for me in an instant. Lisa tried to write something to me and the thread was deleted as well. Thankfully, she for sure was blocked. Source helped me move away from these people rather quickly, and I am grateful for the intervention. Moving forward, I suggest feeling into your heart when you hear them on those shows. How does it feel in your heart? How do those conversations feel? Vibrationally, after all of this happened, I wrote my very first prayer. I will include it here. The intention is that God's source will reveal the truth to those who truly wants to be shown it. This is a powerful and pure letter that I wrote to source. This is an invitation to get the clarity you deserve. Wishing you love, a healed heart, and absolute truth. I understand Ava was angry because we were on a core team call, and it had been brought to my attention that Ava had been taking personal donations from members of Life Force with the claim that she didn't have money for food and she didn't have money to buy her cat food. However, this was not the case. In the course of several months, Ava had taken enough donations to get eyelash extensions, buttocks, and collagen injections. When I found out that the donations she was taking from LF members were for her personal aesthetics needs or wants, we had to put a stop to it. I could not let our LF members be lied to any longer. Ava's vanity, one of the 7 deadly sins, was the real cause of her departure. She abruptly hung up the phone, never to return to UNC. I have not read her letter, and I do not intend to again. I wish her all the best in her future endeavors. However, this type of behavior is not what LF is all about at this time. Everything is coming to the surface for everyone. People are waking up from their slumber and are seeing the truth. Not only members of LF and or former members, but for everyone. Humanity is no longer asleep. There is an old saying that the truth will set you free. And for some, this is very painful. And for others who stand in their truth, who have done their shadow work in this period of awakening, will feel like they are standing in the eye of the storm, watching chaos all around you. Stand tall, connect with Source, and let the light guide you through this chaotic time. It is very clear to me that Yeseva believes in ghosts and possessions, which he's inflicted with the inability to know that demons are actually implants into the thoughts of who you are. Once this is done, the belief system will take over and control you. Beliefs kill and beliefs cure. In reading Kim's cold response, I can feel her AI construct. I have often asked the question, who is she? How come she knows what she knows? Where is she getting her information from? The first thing that comes to mind is that she is an agent of the CIA. The other thing that comes to mind is she's Marduk in a female body. I walk and think, don't judge. Does the members involved like Tank? I really love Tank. I know what his intentions are. I know that he has been led down the road to believe what Kim is doing. I don't blame him. I know that he thinks, and he would actually do a very good job if he was granted with the funds he's been promised from Kim to make the world a better place. But really, people do really think any money is going to come with all of the broken promises that Kim has given us in the past. I share all of these things because I am reading through them again, seeing where she is giving people what they want to hear, but she's not giving them what they need to hear. She's repeating what the light workers on this planet have been saying about shadow work. We are our own saviors. All of these things, like an artificial intelligence repeat program, the seven deadly sins, an Anunnaki concept of biblical thesis created by the ones who played gods with us and enslaved us. It does not resonate with me. I've had highly intuitive beings sit down and watch them. I asked them, what do you feel? They replied to me, she's not who she said she is. Real Source would never have her do this. But who is Source? What is Source? Isn't Source your own higher self? As I've said, I think she's an Anunnaki. Their intentions is to keep humanity thinking of an outside God. She being this savior, the ground command, but acting humble, as if she doesn't want this position, which is exactly what she would say to humans who have had hierarchy in charge of running their reality for the last 13,000 years. I know this now, but more than any other time before, it is coming to me from all levels that the Prime Creator has allowed our reality to be run on its own, without his interference. That happens even if people pretend to be him or to pretend to be our God. We are infinite spirits that were hijacked and put in human bodies. You can call it a prison planet. You can call it a God school. You can say we're avatars. But the truth of the matter is, it's all about yourself, not the money, not the gold, not the promises. It is our mission to figure everything out, to love ourselves, to know when you are being lied to. Now, in my observations, I have observed many good people trying to get what Kim is saying, but they are still in the frequency of money cures all. So she is giving people their lessons by being the witch that she is playing, by testing your own discernment. I may now apologize. I have no respect for anyone operating in these frequencies. What I have noticed about the people who follow her is they are the worst. Mean, selfish, demonic programs, rude and insulting, that could only come from a black sun or a CIA agent. This fact that I have noticed for years, since 2017 with Tommy, is that these dark people follow her around that are poisonous. So dark, I have never experienced this darkness with any other group except with the CIA running the control. But I have decided to make it my hobby to show people what's really happening, who's really in charge. Why is it that she knows so much and promises so much? No matter what anybody says here about what is happening, who Kim is, it makes no difference to me. No difference. Your stupid insults make me smile because you're proving me right. The people that really, really need to be clean, that don't count in this reality, the people who support me mapping the matrix gives me the love that keeps me going, have all told me I'm wasting my time. But am I? Isn't Tim helping me map out the matrix by showing me all of what she's saying? Haven't they woken up enough to see their truth? Not to give an opinion. That's most of you would be saying that I'm just an opinion. But when you search yourself, if you have a soul, you will know that I am speaking the truth. Saving, my friend, I see your spirit within. I see your intentions. But remember that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I will in no way say that you are dark in any way, but I will tell you that maybe your good intentions have led you to the wrong source. To all those pea brains that would say, this is the babblings of a madman, look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself if that is true. If you're connected to source, you will get the answers. You can ignore me all you want, but truth is what sets everything free. That might mean that you might surprise yourself. So now the end is near. Everyone will be judging themselves as this is the end of time. I expect the small brains to leash at patterns of insults again and again, but it does not serve any purpose. There is a point where you get to understand that ignorance is what dominates this reality, and it's just proving to me to be true.
So there you go. That's not kind of something you would say if you were the ground commander bitching someone that used to be part of your team. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for now. Take care, everyone. Speak to you again soon. Ta-da.